All right, Shalom. Giving our praises to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well. And peace and salutations to every brother preaching the truth throughout the four corners of truth and sincerity. All right, it's the brother Shamaria coming at you from the Indiana camp with another lesson. All right, and today's topic is going to be over the Lord directs your path. The Lord directs the path of men. You know, because a lot of people out there think in popular belief that there's like you have the Lord's will and then your will, that you can do what you want to do, but it's the Lord's will for everybody to serve Him. Well, that's not the case. All right, because it's the Lord's will for every Israelite to serve Him, but not as of right now in this particular time. All right, now every Israelite will serve the Lord. You know, it is His will, but right now in this particular day and age, He only wants to select a few men to serve Him. All right, and the Lord direct even though He wants a select few men to serve Him, He still controls the thoughts and the steps of every man on the face of the earth. All right, He controls Israelites, He controls heathens, He controls everybody, because while the earth is the Lord's and everything that dwell therein is the Lord's. All right, you know, the Lord made everything for Himself. You know. And I'm gonna get the precepts to back that up, because people think that you can do what you want to do and you have your own will. That's not the case. You know, you don't have your own will. You don't make your own decisions in this life. It may seem as though that you make your own decisions, but you don't. All right, the first scripture I'm gonna get is Proverbs chapter 16, verse 1. All right, Proverbs 16 and 1 says, excuse me, the preparations of the heart and man, the preparations of the heart and man, and we all know that heart means your lab in the Hebrew tongue it means your mind. You know, that word heart goes back to your mind, and it says the preparations of the heart and man, you know, and us and man, and the preparations is the planning, you know, anything you do to prepare for a certain decision or situation. You know, so the preparations of the heart and man and the answer of the tongue is from the Lord. All right, so the preparations in your mind and what comes out of your mouth, you know, it all comes from the Lord, you know. So basically, He controls your thought process and He controls what you say. And, you know, if you think it, you do it. So if He controls your thoughts, that means He controls what you do. You know what I mean? I'm going to jump down, because all things are made from the Lord. This is all things are made by the Lord. I'm going to jump down to verse 4. The Lord hath made all things for Himself, yeah, even the wicked for the day of evil. All right, He made all things for Himself, even the wicked. So He didn't only make the righteous and the right and the good, because that's another thing, the popular belief that the Lord created everything good and the devil made everything evil, and that's the balance of the world. No, that's not the balance. You know, the Lord Himself is the balance. You know, because He has on His right hand righteous angels, and then He has on His left hand wicked angels. You know, angels to do wickedly, angels to do righteously. You know, and one of those wicked angels is the head wicked angel is Satan. You know, the Lord controls all things. All things, the Lord hath made all things for Himself, even the wicked for the day of evil. You know, even Esau, even the physical counterpart of Satan. He made even the wicked for the day of evil. You know, when Esau, when it's the dark day of the Lord, He's going to use Esau for the day of evil. You know, that's the purpose why the white man. I mean, that's what purpose why Yahweh Shem Yahushua created Esau for wickedness. You know, and to be our slaves when we inherit the earth. Lord willing, we the men. We're probably that number. All right, I'm gonna jump down to verse 9. A man's heart deviseth his way, but the Lord directeth his steps. So a man's heart, like those preparations we just read about, the Lord. A man's heart deviseth his way. So you can think that you're going to do this, and you think that you're going to do that. You divide your way. You know, it says, but the Lord directed his steps. Now, direct means to lead, to course, to draw a route. So the Lord drew out the path you were going to take before you even planned on taking it. Because a man devised his steps, a man planned out his thought, and we just read in the first verse that the preparations in the heart of man. So later on in the scripture it says, "Man devises his way," but the Lord controls what you think. So it's not really man devising his own way. It's the Lord putting a thought in man to devise his way, but the Lord still directs your steps. All right. And that's all Proverbs chapter 16, verse 1, verse 4, and verse 9. All right, let me get I'm gonna get a precept in the book of Jeremiah. No, I'm gonna get another one. Proverbs real quick. Proverbs chapter 20, verse 24. See, Proverbs chapter 20, verse 24. A man's goings are of the Lord. How can a man then understand his own way? A man's goings. Look at the word goings, because I believe the word means steps or journey or way or his way, not his physically steps and metaphorically speaking. Because your steps and your journey and your walk and this truth. It's not a literal step. But like I said, a physical step you can take, but it's metaphoric when you say, "Oh, this is my way," because we have our way and the wicked have their way. Our way is righteousness, but the wicked have their way as wickedness. All right. All right. Shalakia. Yeah. Yeah. Back to the Proverbs 20 and 24. It says, "Man's goings are of the Lord. How can a man then understand his own way?" So a man don't understand the way he walking in, because I don't know why my life is like this, and I don't know why this, and I don't know why that, because the Lord wants your life in the way that it is, and that's hard for people to accept nowadays, because they believe that they have their own will. All right. Now that's why I came up with this lesson, because everyone thinks that they're in control of their own life and their own decisions, in the way that, look what I did with my life, I'll change my life around. No, and the Lord changed their life around. For the better or for the worse is the question. People believe they're doing good, but actually the Lord changed their life around for the better. I mean, for the worse. If you ain't in this truth, all right. Grape juice drinkers, as Apostle Tahar said. It's Jeremiah 20:10. Fuck it. Chapter 10 and 23. Jeremiah 10:23 says, "O Lord, I know that the way of man is not in himself." All right. I know that the way that the way man go is not in himself to do so. All right. It says, "It is not in man that walketh to direct his steps." It's not in us that walk to direct our steps, but who? Like we just read in Proverbs 16. Proverbs. Chapter 16, verse 9. I know man deviseth his steps, but the Lord. I know it is a man that devises his steps, but it's the Lord that direct them. Like in Proverbs 20 and 24. I forgot. I don't want to butcher it. I want to read that one more time and then get the one in Jeremiah that I'm holding. Proverbs 20 and 24. Get that real quick. All right. 20:24. A man goings are of the Lord. How can a man then understand his own way? All right. Now it says in Jeremiah 10 and 23, "O Lord, I know that the way of man is not in himself." How then a man can understand his way? Because he can't, because it's not in himself. It's of the Lord. And the Lord said, my thoughts are not my thoughts are not of your thoughts. My thoughts are not your thoughts. My ways are not your ways, because he's the Lord. You don't know. We know not of what a servant does not know the will of his master. You know what I mean? So we don't know the will of the Lord. I mean, we don't know the thoughts of the Lord. All right. One more scripture I want to get. Romans 20 and 9 and 20. All right, Romans 9 verse 20. "Nay, but O man, who art thou that repliest to God? Who art thou that repliest to Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai? It says, shall the thing formed say to him that formed it, why hast thou made me thus? So why are we asking the Lord? Because he formed us. It says, shall the thing formed say to the thing that formed it? If he made us, why are we asking him, why are we thus? Apparently because he wants us to be thus. It is not in our place to ask God questions. Well, not ask him questions, but to question his judgment. If we get judged, we shouldn't question and say, why is this happening to me? Didn't Job say, if we receive the good of the Lord, shouldn't we not surely receive the evil? This truth is good, so we have to receive the evil when others says. So it's the saying, oh man, who art thou to reply as to Yahweh? How are you to reply to the Lord through what you're going through? It says, shall the thing formed say to him that formed it, why hast thou made me thus? He made you. Don't question why he made you. It ain't none of your business why he made you. It's up to him. I'm gonna get another scripture. I'm gonna Proverbs 21 and 1. Stay in Proverbs 21 and 1. Yeah, that kind of is a good one. Proverbs 21 and verse 1. The king's heart is in the hand of the Lord. Now we just went back into the Proverbs 16. The heart, it goes back to the word your mind. All right. The king's mind is in the heart, is in the hand of the Lord. As the rivers of water, he turneth it whithersoever he will. And right now, using the rivers of water as a parable, but he turned, because of course the rivers are always changing from left to right, swirling and crashing. So the Lord controls the king's heart. Who's the king? The rulers of this world. All right. The king's heart is in the control. In this day and age, the king's heart, the kings are the rulers of this earth, the wicked. All right. So the wicked. The mind of the wicked is in the hands of the Lord to turn of it whatsoever he will. All right? And there's nothing that you can do to stop it. Last scripture I'm going to get is Sirach, chapter 33 and 13. Sirach 33 and 13. All right. This is Ecclesiastes. This is Ecclesiasticus in the Apocrypha. All right. Sirach, chapter 33, verse 13. As the city, Ashlakia, as the clay is in the potter's hand to fashion it. All right, I'm start at 13. It says, as the clay is in the potter's hand, a potter makes vessels out of clay, because he forms it. He creates the vessel. So the vessel go against the potter and say, why you make me like this? I didn't want to be so round. You didn't exist a couple of minutes ago, but how can you question that made you? Like we just read in Romans 9 and 20. All right, it says, as the clay is in the potter's hand to fashion it as his pleasure, so man is in the hand of him that made him to render to them as liketh him best. All right. So if you a certain way and you don't agree with it, it don't matter. It don't matter if you can accept it or not. The Lord has you in His hands because He wants you in His hands. All right. Read that over. It says, good is set against evil, life against death. So is the ungodly against the sinner, and the sinner against the godly. So no, we clash with these other people that don't understand and have no understanding, because why? The Lord wanted to be that way. I'm gonna go up a verse, back to verse 13. As the clay is in the potter's hand to fashion it as his pleasure, so man is in the hand of him that made him. So the Lord fashioned us the way He wants us to be fashioned. That's why in the next verse it said what it said. It says to render to them as like of Him best. So He renders to us as like of Him best, not into what we like best. We could want anything, and the Lord ain't got to give it to us, because why? He don't want to give it to us. It's rocky. It says good is set against evil, life against death. So the godly against the sinner, and sinner against the ungodly. All right. Yep. Now we go to the next verse. It says, so look upon all the works of the Most High, which is Yahweh, and there is and there are two and two. Some that's just one against another. All right, one against another, man. We always clashing with people that's not. Then the Lord say, make our face hard against their faces. You know, the Lord, we clashing with the sinners because the Lord wants it to be that way. That's the way He fashioned it. That's because He is the potter. You know what I mean? All right. I hope this video is edifying. With that, I'm going to say shalom, and I hope this video was edifying to somebody, one of the brothers, to wake up the elect. All right. With that, I'm going to say shalom.